Hello everyone, this is Abhilash. I'm a Fall 19 international student here at Texas A&M University College Station. My last video was about 5 first things to do as soon as you come to College Station, which were your personal household stuff. And this video is about the 5 first things which you need to take care and do as soon as you come to College Station, which are related to your official university stuff. So the first thing being your I-94. So this is the website like which you need to go to check for your I-94. I'll post this link in the description of this video. So just Google I-94 and this will be the first link on top. And like once you go into this link, what you do is go into this one to that is get most recent I-94. And as soon as you go into this one, there'll be this thing just to consent and continue. And once you go in there, enter the first name, last name, your birth date, your passport number, and your passport country of issuance, all of these as per your passport details, obviously. And then just enter next. And as soon as you enter next, there'll be a form which has your date of entry at your port. And there'll be an option for like a print document, just to print and like save as a PDF in your PC. And that document is your official record of entering USA. So that will be a useful document for most of your official things here for like your SSN, your driving license and all that stuff. So that is all for your I-94. So this should be ready within like almost instantaneously after you after your port of entry is done. So so once check after your port of entry is done. If not, like a check after a while, and make sure all your names and first name, last name, all those spellings are matching everywhere. If not, there might be an issue with your I-94, and if there's an issue with your I-94, you might have to go back to your port of entry and get that corrected there. So that might be a costly affair. So make sure your all the spellings and everything is as perfect as possible in your power. So the next important thing, the second thing is your phone plan. I just got to know that like T-Mobile might not be offering the $110 for 4 lines plan anymore. Like some of my friends just went there and then they found out that is not the thing. So if that is not the thing, the best alternatives you have is Mint Mobile and another SIM called Leica. So one advantage of Mint Mobile right now is some of you might have already got the SIM with your I-20s. If that is the case, just go activate it. And like right now, there's a buy for 3 months and a get for 3 months plan for you. So the only advantages of Mint Mobile is like they give more data for like almost for a nominal cost, and they already have 5G activated with them. So these are the plans. You can just go to Mint Mobile plans and like check them out. And one advantage of Leica is that the calling to India is inbuilt. Like they give much less 4G data, I mean, for the same price as Mint Mobile, and they have only 4G. It's not even 5G. But yes, they have international calling to India directly. Like you don't have to use WhatsApp calling. Like you can just call like normal call. But if you want more mobile data, then Mint Mobile is your option. But if you want to have direct calling to India without any online calling or like WhatsApp calling, like if your parents might not be that tech savvy or something, then you can opt for like a mobile. Number three, bank account. So once you have a mobile number and your address with you, you need to open your bank account. Having a bank account also helps with one of your holes being removed on your registration process. So you can go with Chase or Wells Fargo, but I would suggest Wells Fargo because it has a good tie-up with Texas A&M University, and they give a student account. It is technically called student checking account. So that account gives you multiple benefits like no processing fees, like no maintenance fee, and like one international transaction for every calendar month, and like no debit card fees, and like all those minor advantages. They might ask you if you want to upgrade to a savings account. Don't do that because the interest rates here are like 0.1%. So that and they might have the processing fee and maintenance fee. So it literally makes no sense. If you're an earning person here, then it might, but in general it doesn't. So go for the student checking account. So there are two Wells Fargos around the campus. One is on the North Gate region. There is another one on the southeast side of the campus, which is actually the main branch. So if you go to any of these branches, like you need to take your passport, visa, I-20, your lease if possible. Like when they'll need your address proofs, so your lease, and just take like a good number of documents like to cover a few. When, I'll add the list of documents in the description of this video. I'll also make sure to recheck that with a Wells Fargo employee to tomorrow and like update that list in the description. So yeah, get your Wells Fargo account done within like half an hour or like 45 minutes. You'll have your account set up, you'll have your internet banking set up. Like they'll give you a temporary debit card with you right at the moment. They'll give you like a few checks as well. And if you have your Forex card, you can just transfer your money from your Forex card into your Wells Fargo account. So once you open your Wells Fargo account, I think they suggest to deposit an amount of like $50 into your account. So just do that. And yes, so you'll have your temporary debit card account right at the go. You can set your PIN and everything at the bank itself. So as soon as you leave the bank, and even like yeah, so as soon as your account is set up, like your debit card is ready to use, and so is your internet banking. And within a few weeks, like I guess like 1 or 2 weeks at the max, like you'll get your official Wells Fargo debit card posted to your address. And once you get that and you activate that, your temporary debit card gets deactivated automatically. So that is it for the banking. Number 4, your official documentation and your ISS check-ins. So as soon as you come to USA, getting your holds removed is the first priority. So doing that ISS orientation and that check-in process is very important. It might take a while, so just start as soon as possible and like get it done. So once you do that, opening your bank account and linking it to your refund process, that is Heartland ECIS or ESIC, adding to that gets your another hold removed. So get them removed, and once you come to campus, uh, talk to SBS, that is Student Business Services, and also the admissions department, and get your transcription, like your degree, submitted to them to get that hold removed. So once you get those holds removed, there is one more small step to do on your Howdy. So this is your Howdy page after you log in. Just go into the My Profile section here. So here the first tab is your student information. Once you go inside this, there will be options to edit, like there'll be a pencil mark. Hit that to go into further editing, and there you need to add two important details. One is your local like you need to fill all your information. Some of it will be already filled, like, but the other parts you need to add by yourself. And two of the most important things which you need to add are your local phone number, which is your updated one, and your local address. And also you need to add your international permanent phone number and your permanent address. So the names on that are, so the phone number which you need to add, local one, should be added under the name of student local / current in brackets primary. So under that, without any code, like that is +1, without any US code, just add your 10-digit mobile number. And under the name of student permanent, add your international phone number. And also for the address part, under the international permanent, add your international address, and under the name of student local physical, under the name student local physical, add your current address. It will also ask for the date up till when this address is valid. So depending on your lease documents, the last date of your lease should be entered in that. So that is the last date till when your address is actually valid. So if you change your address in future, make sure to change this address as soon as possible. So once you get these both addresses and phone numbers under these names done, I'll also add these names in the description of this video just for your clarity. So once you get this done, most of your online document stuff should be done. So number 5 is your Texas A&M student ID card. For this, the Student Business Services, they issue your student ID card. So you need to submit your photo on this website for them to add that photo onto your student ID card. Make sure to have a 2" by 2" of photo. That is the official passport size photo for USA. So have that already made in India if possible, or like scan your photo and make it into that size and add it to them. So you need to go to this website. I'll add this website in the description, and then you need to go to submit your photo online into My Aggie card. So that would be this. And once you go in this, there is the whole process is very specifically mentioned here. That is log in to, and here like, and you can find your login process here. Once, because I already have my card, it will just show me the options that if I lost my card and to apply a new one. But because you all don't have an ID card already, if you just log in there and you choose your new first time Aggie card, then it will ask you to select the and upload a file from your PC. Then you can crop and like do all that adjustments, and like once you submit, it might take a while, and like then SBS will email you like once it's ready. Then you can pick up your Aggie card at the SBS office located in the GSC. So to reach the GSC, you need to take bus number 6 at Butel. Butel is our student health services building. Once you get to campus, like you'll get an idea where it is exactly. So take the bus number 6 at Butel and get down at the literally the last stop possible for it, like before it turns around. That is the GSC building, and that is for the student ID card. So these 5 are the first things which you need to make sure to get it done as soon as you come to College Station, which are related to your university and your holds. So hope this video helps. Bye bye.